take you to the comic shop. I'll let you read about Cyclops. I'll have you spending all you got. Comics Gate is looking hot. Blacklist.
All right, here we go again. Left Hand Legit back in the house, ready to talk to all of you beautiful people in Webtown about totally awesome Marvel comic book crossovers from the early 1990s that move the needle. It's the X-CUTIONER'S song, Part 10, from X Factor, number 86. As you can clearly see, Charles Xavier went to the Golden Corral, filled himself up with techno-organic viruses so much that he's now spewing chunks of technology right out of his mouth. This is actually Jay Lee's last issue. And before he moved on to whatever he moved on to, I know shortly hereafter he would be seen at Image Comics making Wildcats Trilogy, Youngblood Strike Force, and of course his own creator-owned comic Hellshock. So Jean and Scott are trapped on the moon thanks to Stryfe. Our X-Men are trying to figure out how in the world are we going to get there. This is really nice artwork. It doesn't fit, as I've said multiple times now in these videos. Jay Lee's artwork is amazing, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the X-CUTIONER'S song. Andy Kubert and Greg Capullo and Brandon Peterson draw the other parts of this series, and so their work is a little more uniformed, as opposed to Jay Lee's, which really stands out, as you can see. So they decide, like, we got to go to the moon. Let's make a group and go to the moon and save Jean and Scott. And Jean and Scott, like, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to survive, but somehow they're able to breathe on the moon. We're going to find out how. This is all really, really well made. Really, really like it. I really love this picture of Stryfe. This looks like a poster that you would hang on your wall. Air, we've got to... Slow, Gene. Slow, steady, breathe. Oh, he's going to be sick. What a puss cake. God, I hate you, Cyclops. Well, well, well. Isn't this cozy? And then we're right back to the homies on Grey Malkin in the what do we call it? Like the International Space Station Cable has, that we're orbiting around the Earth, and like they're gonna try to go to the moon too. And Cable's like, you know, we can body slide there, but I have to recalibrate it, all my instrumentation. How long will that take? If I do it myself, about 20-25 minutes. And if we help, an hour and a half. Ha! Self high five. Wisecracking son of a bitch right there, isn't he? So, you know, we're a lot of talk. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff here. Wondering how you can hear me? Simple. I took the liberty of implanting subcutaneous transmitters just behind your jaws. You're so predictable, you see. Don't you understand that you're like mice running through a maze? Any strategy you develop has already been anticipated and countered. Oh, and Cyclops, I wouldn't bother with an optic blast if I were you. It will just ricochet around in there. It won't hurt you, of course, but it might seriously damage your companion. Time out. His optic blast won't hurt him? I don't know. I don't understand why. Did I miss something in the X-Men series that made him immune to optic blasts? Maybe I did. If I did, tell me in the comments below where I missed that. What do you want from us? What's the purpose of this sick exercise? Revenge? But why us particularly? Don't bother asking him, Gene. His kind doesn't need rhyme or reason beyond their own megalomania. His kind? Up on all the latest supervillain psychology, are we? You're so secure, Cyclops. Always knowing that you're in the right, that in your purity, you could never have done anything to bring this on yourself. You're all innocence, aren't you? Self-righteous fool. You destroy innocence. Scott, there's something more here. Something more is going on. Oh, it's getting hard to breathe. You're running out of air. There's only so much in that force field after all. But I'll tell you what, Cyclops, I'll offer you a chance. It is, after all, the least I can do. And I always do the least I can do. In that respect, I take after you. So like he's really baiting in that he is the son. He is the Nathan Summers. Meanwhile, with my boy Apocalypse, your concern is most kind. My concern is all about me, and they're just like, can you save the professor or what? And he's like, I can. Meanwhile, like Jamie Madrox is at the hospital watching over the expatriates. I don't know what that is, and I don't give a crap. And they keep like trying to bait me into caring, but I don't give a shit. And I'm not going to read any X Factor because of stupid Guido. Meanwhile, back on Grey Malkin, Cable and Wolverine are hanging out with Wonder Woman. Oh no, that's Bishop, but his arm is white. Go figure. I know it's him because he has that awesome mullet that was really out of date in 1992. So, Apocalypse is going to save Charles Xavier, and he takes out this little gimmick, and slams it into Charles' chest, and all of a sudden Charles just starts puking up techno-organic viruses all the way. And then he rises, maybe this is, I don't know what's happening here exactly, but Charles is being saved. And Val's just like, Havoc, we've been had. Archangel's been taken over by Apocalypse again. He's out to destroy Xavier once and for all. And Archangel's just like waiting patiently because he has a lot of patience. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Taylor, who we don't know, expatriates, yeah, they knocked out Jamie Madrox, and he's sleepy, whatever. Wait a second, isn't that the exact same friggin' shot? Like, there it is, see? There it is, see? There it is, see? There it is, see? Whatever. Okay, the Man in the Moon. All you have to do to save your lives is beg me. I want you to beg me with tears streaming down your faces. The way that a child would plead with his parents. The way that someone with no hope, with no source of love, would implore someone who is that person's last prayer. Say that you want and need me. Say that there's no one in your life more important to you right now than me. Go on, it's your only hope. Never. We don't trust you. We don't want your help. We'd rather die. Well, then why'd you build that oxygen bubble around yourself, Scotty? Like, why didn't you just die? Then throw ourselves on the mercy of someone like you. I'm drooling. Oh. Who do you think you're talking to? Get up. Come on, don't just lie there. Look at me. And he takes his mask off and he's got the Cable face. Look at what denials and cruelty have done to me. Look, I order you. I order you! But, Scott's sleepy. Jean's out. Third time's a charm, right? I'm bored. Yeah, no shit. Me too. Let's go. We're gone. Oh, wow. I'm glad we wasted the panel on that. They're gone. Xavier and Apocalypse. The virus swallowed them both. Warren, you have 2 seconds to move, or you'll screw things up is what, Aurora? No offense. Watch. Watch what? I can't see anything. And then Charles and they reappear or something. I don't know what's happening here. Jay Lee's artwork is vague. And that's kind of his shtick, but usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Now, Professor Xavier falls to the ground. Apocalypse stands over him. This little critter from John Dies at the End. If you saw that movie, this little critter skirts away. And he crashes it. The operation is over. In case you're curious, I accelerated the virus's growth beyond the point where it could replicate itself properly. It feeds on biological matter, and I stimulated it so radically that Xavier became insufficient to sustain it. So it sought out additional nourishment and found me to be somewhat unpalatable. As do we all. Now we have to go. We have to go really quick and save Scott and Jean. And Apocalypse has a shuttle that can get him to the moon. So, because Wolverine and Bishop alone are already a hot-headed, self-confident combination working with Cable, I think they will want to take matters into their own hands by going on ahead to the moon alone. And then we got, okay, this is Cable. All right, I've landed us in some sort of storage facility. Suggestions, Logan? Subtlety. Avoid fighting if we can. Sneak in, find Psyche and Jean, sneak out. If we're lucky, no one will even notice us. Guys, we've hit a snag. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen next? We're gonna find out. Because I'm gonna go just check out part 11 right now, because I'm stoked about it. Oh, there's that hook game again. Okay, so if you guys are still tracking with the X-Cutioner song, if you're still finding this interesting, I am really enjoying reading this, and I try to get through these pretty quick, and I try not to spoil everything for you guys. The only part that I have found weak was part 2. was the only weak issue so far. Everything else has been really good. And I can see as an adult why this comic book did move the needle, why this crossover did move the needle when I was a kid. Yes, they promised us the origin of Cable when this initially came out. That was promised, and that is one of the things that made it so popular, because Cable was the hottest comic book character of the early 90s, without a doubt. And so people were anxious to find out as much as they could about him. And unfortunately, we're not going to get that origin completely told out in X-CUTIONER'S song. But worry not, comic book fans. Worry not. Big Legit is going to take care of you. I am going to keep going on other X-Men comic books until we have the origin of Cable completely highlighted for all of you beautiful people in Webtown. Because that's what we do here on Testosterone Overload. We take care of the fans. Number one priority is the fans. And we're going to keep on keeping on right here with amazing comic book reviews that continue to move the needle. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a little bit with the X-CUTIONER'S song, part 11. I cannot wait. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that ding dong over there for the notifications. I'll see you next time on another totally awesome comic book crossover review from Testosterone Overload!